Vanaka, may we remain standing for the opening prayer. Thank you. Om Dirjittambalam Murnavani Yane Mugattavani Mutinadam Swarnavani தூய்மை சுகத்தவனே மரணவனே சிற்பரனே ஐங்கரன் செஞ்சரையும் சேகரனே தத்பரனே நின்றால் ஜரணம் ஜரணம் உலக நீல உலாவிய நிர்மலை வேதிய ஆலகல் சோதிய அம்பல தாழ்வா மால வழ்திவர்கவும் ஓம் திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் Gijai Munai Jeva Godavari Saraswati Narmada Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sanidam Guru. Thank you. May be seated.
Beloved mothers, brothers and sisters, Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskar, Om Sai, Jai Shri Krishna to all of you. I am here this afternoon not to mourn but to celebrate the life of one that was well lived. Mr. K.C. Naidoo, full name Kavetti Chandara Naidoo, lovingly known as Reggie or Reggie Mama or Uncle Reggie. At a crucial age in his life, age of 68, the day of his birth, his body chose to separate. While the family had its close link with him, they recognized that in the last month, he indeed experienced great challenge to his health. And the separation that occurred on Thursday was a separation that indicated the mercifulness of the Creator. A great student asked his teacher, which phenomenon is more merciful, birth or the death of a person? The teacher in response said, from the point of your conception to the point of your birth, it takes 9 months. But at the point of separation between your soul and your body, it occurs in an instant. Of these two phenomena, death is more merciful than birth. So while we've gathered here in various states of emotion, we've gathered here acknowledging and remembering the greatness of a soul, a simple soul, that had an impact on each one of our lives. And I know that our close relationship with him when he was manifest was always one that made us feel privileged. While he was a very, very keen and avid reader, and he could engage in various conversations with both young and old, I think it was his warm personality and his hearty laugh that endeared him to all. Beloved ones, with that simple background, to celebrating the life of Mr. K.C. Naidoo, we ask for the intervention of God Almighty. And today we have the Sandfields prayer group who will lead us in prayer. Thank you.
Ganapatiye शिवाय नमः सर्वेशा विनायका सर्वेशा विनायका ओम गणपति विनायका गजमुख विघ्नेश्वरा ओम गणपति विनायका गजमुख विघ्नेश्वरा ज्ञाने मुगने विनायका सर्वेशा विनायका ज्ञाने मुगने विनायका सर्वेशा विनायका सर्वेशा विनायका सर्वेशा विनायका विनायका अंगोजात परिहास विघ्नेश्वरा हाथे कैवल्य विनायका अंगोजात परिहास विघ्नेश्वरा चंदत जगभेद विनायका गीते चंदा विघ्नेश्वरा चंदत जगभेद विनायका गीते चंदा विघ्नेश्वरा सर्वेशा विनायका सर्वेशा विनायका ओम शिवाय Belle kale yorsa venda mare arge mone vendam barantando vaale kale pani belle तुम्हारे वाणी ओम शिवाय
Beloved mothers, brothers and sisters, the nature of the personality whose life we've gathered to celebrate is one that's best described and shared through various tributes. And today, the first of many such tributes will be paid by his niece, Yogini. I call her Yogini.
Kavetti chandara Naidoo was born on the 1st of February 1956 at 2 p.m. to Narayanasamy and Mahalakshmi Naidoo in the town of Seleni, British Spain. Coincidentally, he was called to rest 68 years later on the 1st of February 2024 at 2 p.m. Reggie, as he was fondly known, began his infant years in Kutluwe, where his father was a farm manager. At the tender age of 5, he spoke isiZulu fluently. However, his ability served as a disadvantage because he spoke more isiZulu than English, which resulted in him having to repeat grade 1. Ironically, as many of his students and colleagues will attest, he was an excellent English teacher. Due to the oppressive laws at that time, many Indian children in Zululand were denied a proper primary schooling. His parents were thus forced to send him to his sister Kanta and to H. Ramratan Indian School in Kikimbe, where he resided with his maternal grandfather Ramakistama. It was here where he completed his grade 1 education. He then completed his grade 2 at the Philipston government-aided Indian school, where he lived with the Pallava family. He then moved to Tonga to live with his elder sister Shirley and completed his grade 3 and 4. Upon completing grade 4, he transferred to Indian government-aided Indian school, where he completed grade 5 and 6. Due to being asthmatic, his parents made a decision to send him to live with his sister Radha in Dundee, where he attended the Dundee High School and completed grade 7 to metric. Upon completing metric, he attended the University of Durban, Westville, and completed his teaching diploma, majoring in English and art. During his university years, he spent much of his vacation time working as a sign writer in Checkers in Impangeni. After graduation, his first teaching post was at Impangeni Primary. He left a lasting impression on his students and their parents, so much so that after 45 years in the year 2022, those very same students honored him with a reunion celebration in his name. In 1984, he decided to relocate to Tonga to care for his retired parents. It was here where he began teaching as Excellent Heights in Phoenix. A year later, he transferred to Bishop Primary in Tonga, where he spent 2 years teaching. A year later, he transferred, in Vendova Gardens, he was a strong bond with community and never shied away from assisting his near neighbors. It is the reason he was driven to chair the Vendova Civic Association for many terms. In 1986, he was given a post at Mitchfield Primary, where he spent the final 35 years of his career and retired as acting principal. In 1987, he married Vijay and had 2 sons, Sarvaran and Arowan. They spent 36 memorable years together. He leaves behind a host of family, friends, students, and colleagues whom he loved dearly and shared unique bonds with. Thank you.
Thank you, Yogini. We'll have another budget.
Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya.
The day we become parents is the day we have an amazing relationship with the one whose life, whose destiny, and whose character we are responsible for shaping. At this point, we have a message from the elder son on behalf of his brother and the family, and this message will be read by cousin Debbie.
Okay, where do I start? I've never been one of many words. That was always my dear father's specialty. He was loving, caring, brave, and confident, and never afraid to lend kind words for various occasions. Sorry. which he was asked to speak. It was one of the many reasons my brother and I always admired him. He was someone to look up to, someone to be proud of, and someone to brag about, someone to build, someone to hold, someone to learn from, and someone to respect, someone to listen to, and someone to talk to, someone to try and impress, and who to share everything this wonderful life had to offer. My brother and I are incredibly grateful that we shared all of this and more with our dad. He taught us to walk, to ride a bicycle, draw, fish, and so much more. He passed on his incredibly artistic ability and taste in music, from rock to reggae to us. He had strong morals and values and gave us everything we needed to be good men. It is through his example that my brother and I are the men that we are today. He was an extremely loving and supportive husband and always found creative ways to surprise my mother, to show how much he adored her. My mother and father always shared amazing trips and getaways. He created many fond memories to forever be treasured. He was incredibly supportive to my mother, his late brothers George and Collie, and his 4 sisters Shelley, Radha, Sheila, and Kanta, whom he adored profoundly. He loved his nieces and nephews dearly and had a special bond with each and every one of them. I know his 2 sister-in-laws, Sylvia and Narayani, and his remaining brother-in-law, Sammy, will also testify to his wonderful nature. After his family, teaching was his second love. His pride and joy was Mitchford Primary, where he taught for over 3 decades. Casey, as he was fondly known, shared extraordinary bonds with his colleagues and students. His teaching career began on a typewriter, and he retired as a principal in the modern era using Zoom. He always spoke of all his ex-students with extreme pride and loved keeping in touch with you all, from Zealand to Phoenix, then to Tongat. My father had a place for his students in his heart, and I'm sure you had a place for him in yours. Your larger character, your love and support will be difficult to fill. There are so many things I would like to say, but there are not enough words to express our love and his influence in our lives. But as I write this, all I can say is how fortunate we were to have him as our father, and how fortunate my mother was to have him as a husband. I wish to thank the host of family, friends, and my father's colleagues and ex-students for the love and support they had shown me during this time of loss. Love, Vijay, Agavan, and Sarvara.
Thank you. Today we will have another budget.
திருமி என்னை காக்கும் வடிவேலவா வடிவல் எந்தன் துணியே வேல் முருகா திருமி என்னை காக்கும் வடிவேலவா வடிவல் எந்தன் துணியே வேல் முருகா திருமி என்னை காக்கும் வடிவேலவா வந்த நாமம் என்னை நாடும் வேல் முருகா என்னை காக்கும் வடிவேலவா வந்த நாமம் என்னை நாடும் வேல் முருகா ஓ முருகா ஓ முருகா சரவண
Beloved ones, niece Yogini, we learned that Uncle Reggie spent quite a bit of time and eventually matriculated in Dundee. It was here that he lived with his sister, Radha. And amazingly, the relationship between his eldest nephew there, Levine, and himself was not just as mama and nephew, but as friends. Unfortunately, Levine is currently residing in Australia, and only recently he managed to make a trip over where they managed to spend some valuable time together. At this point, a tribute from Levine will be read by his brother, Rajan. Rajan.
Namaskaram. As for my brother in Australia, to my dearest mama, I have been blessed with so many wonderful memories of you. From my earliest memories of you returning from school, you were about 11 years, carrying grenadillas on the one day and a dead green mama on the another. You were so brave from such a young age, throwing those gabukilis, as you call them, the colored locusts, into the fire that heated the water in Tata's house. And boy, they gave off a terrible stink. You lived with us in Dundee and looked after me like a big brother would. You were such an authentic artist, sketching, turning driftwood into art, and inspiring me to learn to play the guitar. You introduced me to reggae music. There are so many other interesting stories and learning moments, too much to recount, and for some, I'm just grinning from ear to ear. Oh, how I wish we had more time together. To my family, Reggie was deeply caring, he fussed over us, was never afraid to call a spade, or tell someone they were full of it. And, it's a huge and, he was fiercely protective of his family. He loved us all sincerely. His unique qualities, memories we hold, impact he had on our lives and bonds he formed with us have left an indelible mark. Understanding our roots and the people who have shaped our lives, that is our identity. It is foundational in finding our own meaning and purpose. His legacy and the impact he has had on our lives contributed significantly to who we are, well, at least for me. Let us cherish the moments we had with him. Let that be a source of strength and peace as we struggle to say goodbye. His spirit, through these memories and stories, will continue to live, so let's celebrate his life and honor his memory. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajan. We'll have another budget.
Yeah.
you've been a teacher, you know that it is not considered as a job but a calling. Because as a teacher, you're responsible for shaping and engineering the life of a person and determining what they're going to become. A person who was in primary school and was taught by Uncle Reggie sends a tribute some 45 years later of the influence that Uncle Reggie had in his life as his student. And today, I call on Yogini to read a tribute from Dr. Stanley Armogam, who was taught by Uncle Reggie some 45 years ago.
This is a tribute message from his former student, Dr. Stanley Armugam. Sadly, I am unable to join you all in honoring Mr. Kavetti Naidoo today. My earliest memory of him is my Standard 5 school teacher, having just moved to Zululand in a shy teen in the 70s. His impact as my teacher has been evident both in the rest of my school years through my professional career. The encouragement sparked in love for English and writing, which I cherish as a gift today. After many years, we reconnected in 2021, have been closely bonded since then. He became a friend, father, and a mentor. His wisdom and compassion shines through the lives of his learners. Here is a poem to celebrate him as we hold his spirits in our heart today. I still remember your smile, your encouraging words that gently invited me out, a shy teen in a new space. In the passing years between, when time and place change, I carry your creative spirit, a joy for writing, for poetry, for seeing the world with new eyes. Excuse me. And in our last years of reunion, your familiar presence transformed my teacher, sir, my friend, my father, reconnecting a bond forever, not only touching me. I see how your students love you, like bees returning to your nectar. Teacher, mentor, counselor, friend, lives shaped by your compassion. Rest well, dear sir, friend, father. Your work on earth is done. We join your beloved family, honoring your presence, mourning your passing. Stanley Armugam, 2nd of February 2024, Arusha, Tanzania. Sorry, I've just got one more message which comes from international as well. This is from Seki Naidoo and Uncle Dan. Tribute to our late cousin Reggie. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Segi, more fondly known as Baba by close family. On behalf of my family, my brother Dan, my sisters, sister-in-laws, and our families at large, I pay tribute to Reggie, who has left us so early in his life. My sincere condolences to the Jain, children Aroman and Sarvaran. Our loves, thoughts, and prayers are with you during this time of bereavement. Strength to you now and the days that ensure for closure. Time will heal, as you may have heard many times before. You would not be alone, as our support and prayers will be with you going forward. Our love and sympathy to Reggie's lovely sisters, Shirley Akka, Radha Akka, Sheila, Kanta, nephews, nieces, and the respected creative family. Reggie and I were only a few years apart in age, and as many we played together as children whenever we met. I recall that both of us were asthmatic as children and were constantly watched by our doting mothers and cautioned not to overdo our laughing and running around, which would trigger our wheezing and coughing. Amongst the things we did was climbing trees together to check our bird's nest. Unfortunately, we didn't get much time together as adults with following our ambitions and careers, but when we did, the hospitality and the warmth from Reggie and Vijay just made up for the lost time. He has always come across as an uncanny academic with good intent, who loved to pick up my brain on various topics, smiling and sometimes correcting me, for which he held a high regard. Aura about Reggie when we met was always second to none. A respectable family member with such lovely qualities is how I will always remember Reggie. To my cousins, I always cherish how we all engage with each other at all age levels, interacting with love, respect, and happiness. Undoubtedly, it's mirrored from our parents and our grandfather. Good health, love, and safety to you all. Love and respect to all those tuned in today, present, and those present here. Rest in peace, Cousin Reggie. Rest in peace. Go with our prayer, respect, and the Lord's blessings. Thank you.
Thank you, Yogini. We'll have another bhajan.
Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om
As family members, we often ask our parents, and especially if they are teachers, why they spend so much of time with children. And today, as you heard from the message of Stanley Armagam, a teacher does not live independently of his family and his students. They all become collectively his family. And at this juncture, we have yet another tribute from an ex-pupil of the ZSN Primary, Sandra, a tribute from Sandra.
Good afternoon to one and all. Actually, I was going to just start reading my tribute. Something that I've witnessed right now is so amazing that everything that was being said up until now, I have to summarize in a 2 minute, in this 2 minute speech. I actually am Sandra Murphy here to represent the ex-pupil of Empalieni State Aided Indian School. So it's the first time I actually written this, because last night when I was preparing, I don't usually write speeches, I just speak. So when Ma'am said we have time constraints, I said, now I have to put something down. So I went into my room, I said, okay sir, let's do this. And it's so amazing that whatever I put down came from my head. And it sort of like summarized everything that has been going on. Okay, it's just. Dear friends and family, indeed, it is true that a stature of a man is revealed only at the departure from his earthly home to a new abode. I represent the ex-pupils and teachers of the former Empangeni State-aided Indian School, also known to some as ZSM Primary School, where Mr. Naidoo was a former teacher to many of us. More than education, he shaped our tender lives and watched over us well into our maturity. Not in words or instructions, but by his actions. We learned to be simple, use our knowledge appropriately, maintain dignity like it was the only possession of ours, but most of all, to love beyond cultures, religions, background. Just gonna adjust. Sorry about that. I'm not used to doing it. Okay, most of all, he taught us to love beyond cultural and religious background. The past 2 years have been a colorful collage of interaction with him on the chat group. This chat group was created in the intention of reuniting pupils and teachers, reuniting pupils and teachers that were part of the school. It consists of 60 or more participants, and within a period of 2 years, we successfully had 2 reunions with Mr. Naidoo and Ma'am Vijay as our special guests. On the 22nd of October 2022, some of us met for the first time after 45 years. The highlight of the second reunion on the 4th of November 23 was to watch him dance like no one is watching. Spending the time with him was worth the while, but little did we know that it would be short-lived. Luckily, we had many captured moments of a life well spent with him. As we bid goodnight, we will remember the humor, that laugh, his love for art and music. Most of all, we will miss that golden, unique voice. Ma'am Vijay, together with your boys, I want to thank you on behalf of all students for giving us a part of you inside. May the Lord shield you and your family and ease your pain in the days to come.
Thank you, Sandra. If the emotions of a student can be so high, you'll understand the impact a teacher has in the life of all. At this point, we'll have 2 more bhajans.
Hare Ramaya, Hare Ramaya.
Loved ones, the best experience and the best description of the nature of a person is in the relationships that they have. And here we see that Uncle Reggie was not only close to people on his side of the family, but also on the side of his wife's family. And recently, not so long ago, he and his wife's cousin, Seelan, and family made a trip to the Drakensberg to share the moments that they had. We call on niece Debbie, who will describe the relationship between Seelan and Uncle Reggie. Debbie.
Auntie Vijay's cousin Civic Naidoo is currently in India and he sent this message. We will remember Reggie as a very caring and compassionate individual who has always put family first. In our extended family, he was more than just like a brother and more than actually was a brother-in-law, and we therefore share this monumental loss with Vijay and the boys. We actually spent precious time with them at Drakensberg this past October, when Vijay celebrated her birthday there. Although Reggie was not too well, he wanted to make Vijay's birthday very special. He made a request to Patty, Indran and myself to get Vijay out of the holiday unit so that we could surprise her with a birthday arrangement. When we brought Vijay back to the unit, she was genuinely taken aback. Reggie went all out to make her birthday so very special. As fate would have it, he was taken away from us on his birthday, which was on the 1st of this month. It's astounding to note that he passed on the same time and date that he was born, exactly 68 years ago. Death is a part of life, and we are all destined to that fate as we journey through this life. Reggie was so very special in manners, kindness, respect, and compassion. These are most certainly signs of a decent human being. He had a unique bond with Mother Earth. He simply loved plants and flowers and generously shared carefully potted plants with family and friends. We have a treasured space of these plants in our garden in Pietermaritzburg. When my sister Indra lost her husband last August, Reggie and Vijay made time to be with Indra. Although Reggie was quite sick and in a lot of pain, he tried to conceal it, put his shoulder to the wheel and provided much needed emotional support. Along with Vijay. That was selfless Reggie. He put his needs last and those of his family first. Vijay, Sarvaran and Arovan, you did all that you could possibly to make Reggie's life bearable. From providing him with these special diets and fussing around him to ensure that he was most comfortable, Reggie always expressed his gratefulness for that. He was he left quite a void that cannot and will not be fulfilled. We are going to miss him immensely. Both Patty and myself are saddened by the fact that we are not around for Reggie's funeral. However, we have committed to offer prayers on the banks of the river Ganges in Rishikesh to Vijay, Sarvaran and Arovan. The pain that you feel at this loss is huge and understandable. Remember, you have each other, extended family and friends, and still love all of you and will most certainly support you through this difficult time. To Reggie, it has been an honor to have mixed our minds with you. It was so easy to love and respect you. As family, we will still bond together, pray together, and treasure sweet memories of you. Love always.
Thank you, Debbie. Another message from a family member who's not around but in the USA is Lise Hampshire. She talks about her relationship with her mama and how she enjoyed and cherished the moments they spent together. And it is her prayer that may his soul gain its moksha. At this point, we'll have two more bhajans.
Yeah.
Dear mothers, brothers and sisters, we learned that Uncle Reggie not only led a very colorful life, but a very responsible life. And he was involved in all facets of life, social life, and not just for himself and his family, but also for his community. He served many terms in the Vendrova Civic, and today I have the privilege of calling Camille Bisnath to pay a tribute on behalf of Vendrova Civic.
Hello to all. Mr. Kavetti Naidoo, or more affectionately known to me as Uncle Reggie, was an absolute role model in the Vendrova Civic Association. In the years that progressed from the early 2000s, Mr. Kavetti Naidoo was a driving force in the Civic. I can recall him mediating many tempered situations with residents, bringing opposing people together to work out issues civilly. I remember once him telling me how important it is to show leadership in situations where there are no leaders, where people do not want to show support for the community. His words had been, be a driving force, set tasks, get tasks done, work hard, show empathy, and support your fellow man, regardless of differences. These words, when put into practice, was very difficult to emulate and materialize. When I told him this in the more recent years, he said, try again, make it work. You have my support, son. It's hard, but never give up. You have my support, son. With this and advice with regard to the community, we the Civic continued, and we still have our Civic Association going strong. I thank you, Mr. Naidoo, for entrusting me with your words and instilling a strong civic-minded approach. Uncle Reggie, one of the great men in my life, whom has helped me in molding me and many alike here today and out there. Many of you who know Uncle Reggie personally will know that he always wanted the best for you. He motivated you, he encouraged you to challenge yourself, succeed, do better, keep trying. Uncle Reggie played many roles in my life, and he treated me with so much of respect that it was overwhelming in his presence. There are so many things that I can say about him. I just want to say, you'll be missed physically, but your presence will live on in my mind and heart, and I am forever grateful for that. Thank you, Uncle Reggie, and go well. Thanks.
Thank you, Camille. Ladies and gentlemen, dear mothers, brothers and sisters, for your information, the memorial service of our dear father will take place on the 13th of February. I'll repeat that, the memorial service of our dear father will take place on the 13th of February, the venue to be decided. Please observe or take note of it through the social media. We'll have another budget.
Siva Om
When a person spends more than 30 years in an institution, they are more than the bricks that make up that institution. They are the very essence of that institution's existence. And we learned that Uncle Reggie, Mr. Kavetti Naidoo as he was known at school, spent close on 30 years at Mitchell Primary School. He served not only as an educator there, he served as a management member. And I think I want to use the word, he served as a leadership member, one who gave insight to all that he mentored. The tributes from educators that serve at Mitchell Primary is very, very long and many. So I'm just going to read the names and the essence of what they've said. Messages come from Shamla Governor, Ms. A. Dela, Vijay Naidoo, Mrs. N. Maraj, Mrs. K. Samaru, Mrs. R. Governor, Ms. V. J. Narayan, Mrs. K. Governor, are some of the members of the staff that sent tributes, and the family have received the essence of these messages. And if you get a chance and if you've read or read any of them, you can see that Mr. Kavetti Naidoo, Uncle Reggie, had a major impact on their lives. And I'm certain that he helped shape them to become the kind of educators that they are today. In paying tribute on behalf of that staff, we call on the departmental head of Mitchell Primary, Mr. Sean Silverlingham, to read a message. Mr. Silverlingham.
I quote, Mr. Nelson R. Mandela, "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is the difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead," unquote. A fitting statement for an incredible human being. Namaste. Vanakkam, Om Sai Ram, Namaskaram, and a good afternoon to one and all. I bring you greetings from the principal, staff, learners, and the governing body of Mitchell Primary School. Today, with profound sorrow, we say farewell to Mr. Kavetti Naidoo, a leader, a mentor, and a cornerstone of education in Tonga. He personified the very essence of strength, courage, and resilience in our schools today. A person who tirelessly championed the pursuit of quality education in our country. He resonated our core principles and objectives, offering support to our education campaigns. Mr. Naidoo was of unwavering determination, disciplined, and had an unshakable commitment to education. A gentleman of note, a master of the English language, an eloquent speaker, a prolific teacher, and a family man to be envious of. That was our Mr. Kavetti Naidoo. A teacher true to the course. He served at Mitchell Primary School as deputy principal for 27 years. No mean feat. and this he did with distinction. He touched the lives of 3 generations at Mitchford Primary School. His name was synonymous with our school. If anybody mentioned Mitchford, they always ask, is Mr. Kavetti Naidoo still there? He was a caring individual and fair person. His prowess, generosity, astuteness, and humble demeanor always impressed those that he came into contact with. To Vijay and the boys, thank you for sharing such an incredible person with us. Strength to you and the family. On behalf of the Mitchford family, I extend our sincerest condolences to you and the Naidoo family. May his legacy to education continue to inspire generations to come. I thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sivalingam. Mr. S.A. Chetty, SEM for the Billionaire Award, conveys his condolences to the Naidoo family and prays that God Almighty gives them strength during this very trying and challenging time. We will have more budgets.
Raja, Zero Mena.
dear family and friends, it's unusual to say thank you, but during the time that Uncle Reggie was unwell, the family received support, and when he passed on, they received additional support. So on behalf of Mrs. Vijay Naidoo, Savaran, Arul, and the rest of the Naidoo family, they wish to extend their deepest gratitude to each one of you for all that you've done to make this process bearable. Again, a reminder that his 13th-day memorial service will be held on the 13th of February, the venue to be decided.
Yeah, I found the place. I'm the funeral.
We are going to allow the family to pay their final tributes before the priest Keshan will take over to lead in the final rites.
No,
While the family is doing this,
the service
we
good.
call on the service group to continue singing as this process takes place.
That's like that, bye.
Will the family please come forward and offer your roses?
Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Dirujitrambaram Mayariya Kandan Malai Magalbagamadudayan Kayariya Karai Uramodiya Uruvan Mayariya Kandan Malai Magalbagamadudayan Kayariya Karai Uramodiya Uruvan Sayariya Kuvalai Malam Nayadavaloram Nayariya Perumanidam Naidanam Yeniram Sayariya Kuvalai Malam Nayadavaloram Nayariya Perumanidam Naidanam Yeniram Kallamargiya Purakaja Tamilyana Sambandhan Nilamargiya Pugajandiga Nidane Nigaram Kallamargiya Purakaja Tamilyana Sambandhan Nilamargiya Pugajandiga Nidane Nigaram Pallamargiya Parivai Patam Nigavallam Sillamargiya Sarvaravi Sarva Siva Gariyam Pallamargiya Parivai Patam Nigavallam மகபாக மதுடயன் கையாடிய தரங்களை துறமோடிய ஒருவன் Father, can we go up, please ask you to conclude prayer?
Shankaracharyam Vrigachayanam Vatmanabam Suresam Viswadharam Jaganasam Ekavaram Subhagyam Sneegandam Kamalanayanam Yogityanam Yamate Vishnam Dava Sarvalokaikanatham Tirumurtidevali Dheena Videsita Chandravaratmadakina Shanti Kavetti chandara Naidoo.
Namaskaram, Vanakkam, Namaste, respected elders, dear brothers and sisters. Under sad circumstances that we gather here this afternoon to bid farewell to our dear father, we have just one tribute for this afternoon. We'll firstly start with the viewing, while I do a few particles and then go to the tribute. We may now come to the viewing. Is flower petals on the lid of the coffin. Thank you.
Samyana Sambandhan Yarvajivan Adiyar Galku Adiyar Lagi Toldan Yarvajivan Adiyar Galku Adiyar Lagi Toldan Devendiru Devarati Puran Murai Seida Devendiru Devarati Puran Murai Seida Amir Amir Vallar Para Jogati Upada Tamil, Tamil, Vallar, Maralogati, Uparam, Marvavadumayam, Nidu, Mannavatadirnam, Om Chittumbaram. Monica, now for Yogini. To pay a tribute to our dear father. Sorry, we have Camille with us now to pay a tribute to the father.
Hello to all. Mr. Kavetti Naidoo, more affectionately known to me as Uncle Reggie, was an absolute role model in the Bandroba Civic Association. In the years that progressed from the early 2000s, Mr. Kavetti Naidoo was a driving force in the Civic. I can recall him mediating many tempered situations with residents, bringing opposing people together to work out issues civilly. I remember once him telling me how important it is to show leadership in situations where there are no leaders, where people do not want to show support for the community. His words have been, be a driving force, set tasks, and get tasks done. Work hard, show empathy, and support your fellow men, regardless of our differences. His words, when put into practice, was very difficult to formulate and materialize. When I told him this in the more recent years, he said, try again, make it work. You have my support, son. It's hard, but never give up. You have my support, son. With this and advice with regard to the community, we, the Civic, continued and we still have our Civic Association going strong. I thank you, Mr. Naidoo, for entrusting me with your words and instilling a strong civic-minded approach. Uncle Reggie, one of the great men in my life, whom has helped in molding me and many alike here today and out there. Many of you know Uncle Reggie personally, will know that he always wanted the best for you. He motivated you, he encouraged you to challenge yourself, succeed, do better, keep trying. Uncle Reggie played many roles in my life, and he treated me with so much of respect that it was overwhelming when in his presence. There are so many things that I can say about him. I just want to say, you will be missed physically, but your presence will live on in my mind and heart, and that I am forever grateful. So, thank you. Go well.
I thank you for the moving tribute. We call for the immediate family members for their final viewing, where they can offer some of the rose stems from the coffin spray. While I do the last aria, thereafter the arti. Immediate family members will come for your final viewing. Om Yajammalam Adi Param Purulan Ulagal Vandiyan Dodari Napadi Madi Sudambaran Dayan Otiram Varire Tirumana Padam Panibhagalam Peruman Zordien Alaram Porulin Bambira Ganam அழதிகவாதீரே ஆதிபரம் பொருளாந்த உலகில் வந்தையன் சோதாரே இந்த பாதிமதி சுதம்பரமதையால போற்றிடும் வாதீரே ஆதிபரம் பொருளான் இந்த உலகில் வந்தையன் சோதாரே இந்த பாதிமதி சுதம்பரமதையால போற்றிடும் வாதீரே ஆனந்த நடமிடம் அனந்த புரியாரம் பொற்பாதம் போற்றீரே சாந்த நல்வழம் சிவன் அருளால சுகம்பல பெருவீரே ஆதிபரம் பொருளாந்த உலக வந்தையன் சோதாரே ஆதிமதி சுதம்பரமதையால போற்றிடம் வாதீரே மயாயலிங்கம் உலகந்த ஞான கலந்த சொல்லே போலிருந்த சிவ பெருமானே தன்மை துதிப்பாரே ஆதிபரம் பொருளாந்த உலக வந்தையன் சோதாரே பாதிமதி சுதம்பரமதையால போற்றிடம் வாதீரே ஆதிபரம் பொருளாந்த உலக வந்தையன் சோதாரே பாதிமதி சுதம்பரமதையால போற்றிடம் வாதீரே ஓம் திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Father, can everyone please rise for the giving prayer? Om Nirjittambalam Muktineri Ariyada Mukarro Muyalvene Patineri Aralitu Pazhavinigal மனம் சித்தம் எல்லாம் அறிவீசோ சிவமாகி என்னையான ஆத்தன் என கருளையவா ஆற்றிருவார் ஆற்றுவவே நெறியல்லா நெறிதானே நெறியாக நினைவேனே சிறுநெருங்கள் சேராமே இருவருளே சேதம்பனம் புரியல்ரோம் எல்லாக கூத்தல்கள் போதையனக அரியம்பனம் அருளையவா ஆட்பெருவார் ஆற்றுவவே செம்மை நலம் அறியாத சிதரோடும் இருள்வேனே மும்மை மல மருளீதோ முதலாய முதல் வந்தார் நம்மையமோ பொருளாகி நாசிவவே ஏற்றுகைத்த அம்மையென கருளையவா ஆட்பெருவார் ஆற்றுவே அம்மையென கருளையவா ஆட்பெருவார் ஆற்றுவே அம்மையென கருளையவா ஆட்பெருவார் ஆற்றுவே ஓம் திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் கல்லாபுரயம் சருதாபுரயம் கசுந்துருகி இல்லாபுரயம் இணையாய் குறையும் இணைந்தரத்தில் சொல்லா குறையும் துறையாய் குறையும் தோஷா குறையும் எல்லா குறைகளையும் ஒருத்தருள் வாய்க்கச்சே கம்பரணி ஓம் திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் தென்னாட்டுடைய சிவனே போற்றி எந்நாட்டவர்தம் இறைவாய் போற்றி 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 ஓம் திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் லோகா சமஸ்தா ஸ்தினோ பவந்து லோகா சமஸ்தா ஸ்தினோ பவந்து லோகா சமஸ்தா ஸ்தினோ பவந்து ஓம் சாந்தி 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.